Hey, how's it going?
Hi. Can you see me?
I can. I'm getting it set up. There you go.
This is my actual hair, by the way.
It's not a wig.
It's not a wig. This is the real deal.
No one's gonna believe you though, because you wear wigs.
I know. I can't wait.
All right. How did we get you into the game last time? I forget. Are you my Steam friend
you had
now?
to invite me, but my game's currently it's in the taking 1,000 years to boot up, so it's
Right, because you've got that Bentham style laptop from.
It's not a laptop. Come on, don't insult me. I at least have 2 computer screens.
You have 2 monitors? No way.
Yeah. You didn't wait for real?
You're an actual nerd then. Nice.
Yeah, I built up my whole setup. I built my computer.
You did? Awesome.
Yeah. I used to work for Microsoft.
No.
Yeah,
You're
did.
You're too young to have worked at Microsoft. They don't hire young people.
Actually, they do. And I worked in the business end and also retail division. So I was like a mixture of corporate and retail stuff, and I built all that stuff. All right, fine. Everybody wants to pick up the webcam, wants me to show them. Look, it's true. So Twitch is up there, and then that's EU4. Ta-da.
Wow, you've got it mounted pretty far behind it, but how's the... Can you actually read it well?
Yeah.
Your webcam is so bad at focusing.
I know, I don't know what's happening today.
It's the hair. That's what it is.
Hair. It can't focus because of the hair.
It needs a wig. It's a wig powered webcam. Without a wig, it doesn't know what to look at. See?
I mean, yeah. That's how you know it's legit. Okay, hold on. Let me fix my settings.
Arumba, do you have any insight as to what project Wiz might be working on for realsies? All I know is that Wiz... I don't think it's Victoria 3, but he is one of the guys. There were like 2 or 3 guys who did a community like patch for Victoria 2 Christmases ago, and they've been saying for years that the only reason they haven't done Victoria 3 is because they've been waiting for a project lead who would be really, really passionate about doing that project. They weren't going to force it on anyone because they wanted the person to lead the project to really want to do it, and I could see Wiz being that guy, but that doesn't mean they're making Victoria 3. I don't know. So.
I mean, have you signed up for Tinder? Their new
Tinder?
soul-seeking dating app?
Tinder?
Yeah, they made like an app called Tinder, and it's like a soul-seeking app, and you like put into it, and it's like, I like everything from long walks on the beach to violent murderers to like, anime to getting my spine ripped out of my back. Like, it's really funny because it generates everything for you. So you just put in like a general idea, and like you answer these questions, and then it signs you up for it. And so it's basically like, when I created my profile, it said I'm an amiable designer, 10, and my blood type is B-, which is true. Film lover, dog lover, art lover, amateur author, Comic-Con fan, anime lover, peculiarity fan, serial killers fan, and evening person. Writing at the nexus of self-preservation and trust to craft something amazing. I'd love to know more about you.
Wow.
And so like you go and you have to complete these challenges each day, and a lot of people believe it's a teaser for possibly a vampire game.
I guess I could see Paradox getting involved with something like that.
Well, they did absorb White Wolf back into like the main company.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I've just been doing some clicks.
Yeah, I noticed. So I remembered last time we won that war, we got our promises, so now we have to kind of deal with the civil unrest.
Yeah, so you finally committed to, after like 20 years, you finally committed to murdering some Moroccan heathens, and it went great! Right? Genocide is fun! Yay! On the warpath! So,
hooray!
We have 1 loan, though, and we're losing money because we are colonizing now.
Yes, that's right, we have that little island.
Right, so we're at peace. We have rebels. We should suppress the rebels using our troops, but we also need to fix this like economic problem. We only make 11 ducats a month, and we're spending 16.
Bad.
Yeah. So
okay,
options are, well, first off, I just did a couple clicks with the estates, right? So I gave a province of Tangier to the burghers so that we would get 0% effective autonomy in that province for trade and stuff. Basically, the burghers are going to make more money for us trade-wise and production-wise in this Silk province. And then I borrowed, took a bunch of money from them. Also, our income is down temporarily because I pissed off the clergy in order to take away Porto and give it to the burghers, which is another province that has estuaries. There's a natural harbor and the Douro estuary here, which provide raw trade power, and that just means that the burghers should control this province. If you look in this tooltip,
so we kind of gave them something to stop their whining.
Basically, yeah. So we can use that money, though, that we got from the burghers to pay off all of our loans, and then we can scale back our army maintenance until we actually have a rebellion. And then beyond that,
I remember that we mothballed all the forts.
All of them except we do have one fort active in Tangier because there is some unrest. We could turn it off for now. I'd save us half a ducat. But, yeah. So at this rate, we could survive for 20 months before we run out of money. And that's decent. We do have too many forts. We don't need to have this many.
Okay.
You can actually delete forts if you just want to save the cost. So, the fort in Evora.
What if we ever go to war with Spain?
Castile.
Castile, sorry.
Castile can form Spain. So can we, though. Yeah. Well, you allied Castile, and you have not done anything mean to them.
Well, I know, but I listen, okay? I get it. We're supposed to wage war. We're not supposed to play nice. And as much as I want to be BFFs with Castile forever, I mean,
you're already plotting the inevitable downfall of Castile. I got it. All right. Cool.
Is General Pinkwig still alive? Is he? He's alive, right?
I don't know. I think you might really need to put a wig on.
No, he's good. Yeah, he's alive. Pinkwig. Yeah. Well, he's with the 13k stack.
All right. Another thing we need to do before we unpause is get our navy back to, actually trying to make us money. And we want to mothball the navies as well. So remember that 16 navy that we had blockading the Straits of Gibraltar so that we could siege down that fort easier?
Yeah.
What we want to do is take the navy back to our capital, and then we're going to pull just the light ships off and have them protect trade so that we can make some money in Safi. And we'll put our admiral there, and we'll mothball the difference. And it's time to play. And now we're still just losing the 3 ducats a month, which is pretty manageable.
All right. Hold on. We have border friction. Across our country, there's outrage that we would ally with a nation who holds provinces which are rightly ours. Perhaps a policy change is in order. Put a positive spin on things. Revoke the claim. So I think I remember this from last time. We either lose relationship points with Castile. We either lose 25 diplomatic power or we lose 5 prestige. What was the right answer to this question?
It depends on whether or not you want to betray Castile. If you want to betray Castile,
I think it's a little bit too soon.
Okay. Well, monarch points are valuable, but not if you don't want to lose the claim and you don't want to lose prestige, you could spend the diplo points. But in this case, probably the prestige is the least valuable resource that you're trading. If you want to keep the claim. Or if you're saying you think it's too soon to betray Castile, you could just abandon the claim, but these claims came from a mission. So they're fancy. They're permanent claims, which are better than regular claims. They're permanent. They never go away, and they are stronger with what they do. So if you give it up, you can't get it back. Lots of pressure.
I think we're gonna lose the we're gonna lose the 25 diplomatic power. I don't want to lose the claim.
Okay. If you don't want to lose the claim,
You're judging me.
If you don't want to lose the claim, I would lose the prestige before losing diplo points personally, because
I lost the diplo points. They're already gone.
All right. It's easy. It's easy to get prestige. It's not as easy to get monarch points.
Shorts are nothing to the glory of Portugal. That was good.
I like how we have this.
Yeah, since doing that, it's so much better. It's just the sun, guys. That's all. Blame the sun. It's usually not out. I haven't seen the sun in days. Well, not because I don't leave my house. More like it doesn't shine.
And possibly because you sleep till after 2 or 3 in the day.
Listen.
Until the sun sets.
I only sleep, the latest I'll sleep is 2. But that's if I had like a really late night. Like sometimes if I'm doing a photo shoot, like I can stay up till like 4 or 5.
All right, so
I'm actually a vampire confirmed. No, I'm not a vampire, but I want to date one. Unhappiness among the peasantry. Conflicts and protests over taxes, landlord cruelty, expropriation, serfdom, and customs policies have become quite frequent. If we don't manage to solve the problem soon, consequences could be dire. We rule as we see fit. Try to improve their situation. We have ducats we would lose, or we would gain 10 prestige, or lose 1 stability. Now, stability, like, I understand that's important to not have, like, rebels spawn in your country, right? It's, like, the same idea with happiness and civ. But, like, how does it actually work here?
All right, stability is it's a 7-point system from -3 to +3.
Okay.
And you generally don't want to have negative stability because it's worse to be negative than it is beneficial to be positive. It's like if you're +1 stab, you have -1 unrest in your whole country, and you have like 5% bonus tax income. If you go -1 stab, you have 2 unrest everywhere. So it's double the penalty to go negative as the benefit to go positive. So don't go negative, but usually you want to stay between 0 and 1 is what you would actually spend monarch points on to try to like stay at.
Where are we right now? How can I see? Where's the menu for that?
Very, very top of the screen, 4th from the left is your stability. We have 0 right now.
Oh, okay, so it's not a good idea to actually go negative. So we will try to improve. But if we try to improve their situation, we're going to lose all of our money.
If you go to the stability and expansion tab, you can see that scale, that -3 to +3 scale. And if you hover over the cost, you can see the things that make it more expensive or less expensive. We have penalties with religious unity because you have massacred a whole bunch of Moroccans and taken their land and, pillaged their homes, and they don't believe in the same things that we do, and we don't accept their culture, and we don't have the cores done, and the clergy are mad, and whatever. So it's 162 admin points per stability. So think about it like this. If you lose stab right now, that's equivalent to spending 162 admin points because that's the price you would have to pay to get it back. So it's quite a bit. Generally, if you didn't have the negative penalties, 1 stab is worth about 100 admin points. And it gets more expensive to go from like 0 to 1 is 100 points, 1 to 2 is 150, and 2 to 3 is 200. So it's expensive to get to the highest levels, but I forget the options that you had, but I definitely wouldn't lose stability right now.
Okay, then we'll have to try and improve the situation for 34 ducats.
So be it.
So be it.
Also, our first colony in Cape Verde has found its trade good. In the top right of the corner of the screen, you can see the ledger. Sorry, the outliner.
Ooh.
Outliner is what it's called. We have a segment here called for colonies. Cape Verde is at 400. As soon as you hit 400 population, that's when the trade good is selected for a province. So we have naval supplies, which is just interesting. You can get gold, you can get other stuff, but not in this specific province. This province, I think, can be either naval supplies or fish. It's an island, so, Anyway,
fair enough.
The colony's growing. We have no money. We're going to go into debt. That's okay. As Portugal, deficit spending in the beginning is fine because you're going to make a lot of money from trade over time.
See, like, not having any money is, like, making me tweak out because in all my civ runs, I'm pretty good at keeping my economy, like, really high. Like, I'm usually one of the richest players in the game, if not, like, the richest player in the game. So, like, seeing my treasury at 0 is, like, no! But that's bad!
So we can do some things, which I just adjusted. One thing we were doing, if you go to the 4th tab, the economy tab, we were still paying our army about half maintenance, which is where I like to keep my military, because if you keep your army at half maintenance and you want to go to war, it only takes them like 1 to 2 months to get to full morale. And if you suddenly get attacked when you're not expecting it, you would much rather have some morale on your army than none.
No morale.
Yeah, if you go all the way down to 0, you can easily get stack wiped by an AI in the very first battle. So it's kind of risky. Also, if rebels pop up in the province that your army is stationed, and they have no morale, they can lose, versus having a little bit. But we're so poor, so close to 0, that if we take it all the way down to 0, we can minimize a lot of our expenses. And then also we were rooting out corruption, which is this mechanic right next to stability.
I see it.
Because you're an embezzler, You're causing us to gain corruption every year. Also,
yeah, I know. I noticed.
We're gaining we have a penalty to corruption because we're overextended, meaning we have uncored land, the land we just conquered from Morocco. And we have a very small penalty because we have that religious unity problem, because they believe in, Sunni. So until those things are solved, we're going to gain some corruption. If you had to choose between taking loans or rooting out corruption, I'd probably just take a little bit of corruption. We can root it out later when our economy's better. If you want to know the actual effects, just look at the tooltip and you can read it. It increases blah, blah, blah. So, and then also, I think we should probably consider deleting the fort in Evora.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm fine with that. How do you actually like delete a?
So on the province interface,
yeah.
If you don't have the buildings thing popped out, there's a little side tab thing here. You just click that.
Yeah, I have it. I see it.
Top left corner is a real red X to destroy a building.
Destroy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the reason specifically why we would delete Evora is because it's adjacent to our ally. We already have a fort in our capital of Lisboa right next door. Evora is not really projecting any like protection that we don't already have from Lisboa. Their zones of control completely overlap. Lisboa is affecting Coimbra, Beira, Evora, and Beja, and Evora is affecting Beira, Lisboa, and Beja. So it's a duplicitous fort. You just delete it, and then we save a half ducat a month, and now we're basically not losing money anymore.
Okay, cool.
So that's nice. You could also lower colonial maintenance, but that's usually not a good idea.
Oh, you got a subscription.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Did they add zone of control for capital forts? They did not. However, this fort is a real fort. We just have it mothballed. So it looks like a capital fort. That's the symbol for a level 1 fort. But if we turn our fort on, it'll change to a proper fort. We just have it mothballed. Cool. So we're making money. We're coring. You can see that happening over on the outline.
Yep.
And once those cores are done, we're going to be a lot better off. So who do you want to commit genocide? Attack next?
Oh.
Want to delete the fort in Tangier as well? Well.
We can't do Tangier. Yeah, we can do Tangier.
Wow. Okay, so this is a big event. Castile has formed a personal union with Aragon. There is a decision that can happen if you're playing as Castile or as Aragon, where they can basically just gain the throne of Aragon as well as Naples. So our ally just became incredibly strong. Castile now is not just Castile, he's also Castile, Aragon, Naples. He's all 3 countries.
Wow.
So your plans to murder Castile have probably...
I didn't really want to.
They need to change, basically. But let's talk about why we might not want to delete the fort in Tangier real quick.
Uh-huh.
There's this concept called fort ratio. Basically, you want to have 1 fort per 50 development in your country. And if you go to the economy tab, you can see that we have 185 development. And we have exactly 4 fortresses. If we could afford to keep them on, that would give us army tradition. We would gain 1 army tradition per year from having our forts. So we won't want to delete this extra fort because then we'd immediately have to turn around and build a new one. And they're expensive. They cost like 200 ducats to build.
Oof.
So
that is pretty expensive.
I would delete the 5th extraneous fort, but I would not delete another one. All right, before we unpause, you have a decision to make. You can purchase an ability.
Oh. Ooh, yes. I remember, I'm a saint, by the way. Remember that?
Yeah, the saint.
I was a saint.
It was a saint proclaimed, yep.
Okay, so I can start a golden era.
You can't, actually, but that's an option that could be done at some point. We have to have 3 objectives fulfilled. Right now we have 1.
Okay.
We're present on 2 continents, so for each of these objectives that you satisfy, you gain an extra 2 Splendor per month. Right now we have 1 base plus 2 from 1 fulfilled objective. And we've accrued 800 points. Each of these bonuses costs 800 points, and you can pick whichever one you want.
Oh, this is cool. Okay, I haven't seen this part yet.
These will last until the end of the first age, and there are 4 ages in the game. So we're special. Portugal gets a special one. The 4 to the very right of this list are unique to specific countries. And in this case, in the first era, the first age, we are one of those special countries. So if you want, you can pick up 50 more increased global settlers. To evaluate how good that is, right now, our annual global settler increase is 50. So we can double the rate of colonial growth. Kind of makes sense as Portugal to
Yeah, no, that makes sense to
colonize.
me. Until the start of the next age, are you sure? Okay.
We did it! All right, cool. So yeah, so we have an alert saying we can convert provinces. We have an alert saying our corruption's growing, but we need the money. We're actually making a little bit of money now, so we could start rooting that corruption back out again if we wanted to. Or personally, I would finance the army a little bit before paying off corruption.
Yeah, I also agree with that. I think that's smart.
Yeah, so we'll bump it up a little bit, try to make like maybe...
Because like I like that you actually have to keep thinking about your army like this. I like that it's not really like Civ where I can literally delete all of my units except for like 3. And then if I go to war, you know, I can just purchase and like, you know, churn out a bunch of units in one turn and not have to worry about really, you know, the military maintenance. Unless, because like there's only I think 2 civs that really have a focus on military maintenance and having it not cost you much more money, or if you take autocracy as your ideology. But I think this is really cool that you have to always consider your military and their morale, because I'm so used to Civ where it's like, oh, I'm not planning to go to war until like the 1600s and it's 12 something AD. Let me just delete all my units and then I'll just buy them all when it comes time.
Don't you lose all your promotions when you do that, though?
Yeah, but like it doesn't really matter, because if you have enough of the buildings in a city, you can just get promotions like that. Like your units just get spawned with that XP.
Did you play much Civ 6? Give that a try. Ever give that a try?
I've been playing a little bit. I just played my first like full start to finish game a little while ago. I have a bunch of other little games I haven't really like finished. It's a little bit different. It's okay. There's I mean, they really nerfed coastal cities, and like I get it, because like in Civ 5 it's basically worthless to have inland cities unless it's to like, you know, cover territory. But it's just like the district thing is interesting. It's a different type of maintenance. It's fun. I have to really like sit down and learn the ins and out a little bit more. But there are plenty of things that carry over just like they do between all the Civ games.
So let me just take a moment to address chat. You see all that weird shit she was saying about Civ? She knows her stuff, man. Just wait till she knows EU4. Like, she's gonna be good at this game. These guys, most of the people who play EU4 don't care about Civ, because once you go from Civ to EU4, it's very hard to go back.
I don't know if I can ever not love it. Like, I do have like all the collector's versions of the games with like the little figurines and the maps and stuff. Like I grew up playing Civ. Like I've been playing Civ since I was like 4 years old, you know? So it's not, I think even if EU4 were to take, you know, the place of Civ in my life, I don't think I'll ever like not love it or not play it.
Oh, sure.